Physical exercise is an important part of someone's day-to-day life. It aids in losing and maintaining weight. Healthy People 2020 made it a target to increase the proportion of students that are reporting to meet the guidelines of aerobic exercise. This means the number of students that work out the appropriate amount each week as dictated by the federal guidelines. Someone should work out 5 days per week for about 30 minutes per day. This presentation was made by Victoria Lear, Yanis Liston, Caitlin Combs, and Estrella Pedroza. The first level of the socio-ecological model is the individual. This can be said to be the most important level. The individual level of the socio-ecological model includes personal factors that increase or decrease the likelihood of an individual conforming to a trend. In this case, that trend is the increase of physical activity on college campuses. Some of the personal factors included in the individual level are a person's beliefs, attitudes, and motivation or lack thereof. Other factors that influence an individual is their age and socioeconomic status. The main facilitator of the individual level is personal motivation. These photos both identify individuals being personally motivated to achieve a goal. The photo on the left is someone strength training on their own, and the photo on the right is someone riding their bike on campus. The major barrier of the individual level is personal injury. There are many types of personal injuries, ranging from sprains to breaks to fractures to pulled muscles. The photos on the left are breaks. There is a broken foot as well as a broken ankle. These individuals cannot do lower body workouts, including running, riding a bike, or jumping. However, they could do strength training of the upper body. The photo on the right is a pulled muscle. This individual should alternate ice and heat. They should also wait until the injury is healed to work out again. The next level is the interpersonal level. This level includes the culture, societal norms, and relationships that the individual has. Some of the factors that influence this level are family, peers, institutions, and organizations. It is at this level that persons tend to conform to the social norm. Whether it is based off of religious beliefs, familial traditions, or the social norms themselves, this is the level that can have the greatest impact on how active a college student can be. Did the student's family practice healthy lifestyles prior to the student's arrival to the university? Do the student's friends exercise? If the answer to any of the above questions was yes, then the student is more likely to be active. An individual's peers or family members have the greatest impact at the interpersonal level. They provide encouragement and motivation in order to reach workout goals, whether it be going to the gym to work out with a friend or providing motivation to continue at mile 13.5 of a Savage race. The major purpose is to continue to encourage the individual to push themselves. When someone works out with others, it increases their likelihood to continue rather than quitting when they feel tired. The major barrier at the interpersonal level is working out alone. When the individual is by themselves, they are not inclined to push themselves past hardships. This requires more self-motivation. Most people are not self-motivated to be physically active and therefore require the support and motivation from others. Typically, strength training can be more of an individual type of task, unless it is free weights. In free weights, having someone there can also aid in the safety of the task to prevent injury. Next on the model is the organizational level. Included in this level is your school and workplace. Some of the questions to ask to help understand this level better are: does your workplace offer health benefits? Does your school promote healthy lifestyles? And what health amenities, such as gyms, does your school or workplace offer? There are many organized activities that the university can do. At USF, there are group classes at the gym. These include cross-fitness, Zumba, and yoga, among others. Besides classes at the gym, students can join various organizations that promote fitness. The ROTC program runs every morning. There are also intramural sports all year long. These include water polo, soccer, and flag football. Students can organize teams and compete against one another for that season. There are even clubs on campus, including Humans vs. Zombies and Ultimate Frisbee, that allow students to go outside and be active in an organized activity. The only barrier to the organizational level is that organized activities tend to cost money. Although gym access is free, some of the classes require payment or purchasing equipment, such as yoga mats. USF has recreation trips, including hiking and whitewater rafting. However, these trips can be very costly. The gym also offers personal trainers, but at a cost to the individual as pictured here. This can be a major difficulty as college students do not have a plethora of money to spend, especially on non-essential things such as fitness class or a personal trainer. Next on the socio-ecological model is the community. There are many aspects to consider when examining this level of the socio-ecological model. Are there parks and swimming pools in the area? What about bike paths or gyms? Another factor associated with access is transportation. Is the park or gym in walking distance? Is there public transportation in place? This level of the socio-ecological can be easily accommodated on universities across the country, including our own at USF. Most universities have on-campus gyms, tracks, and even pools. Along with the convenience of having these types of places located directly on campus, there are numerous facilitators on the University of South Florida's campus. There is a multi-level gym with a pool, basketball court, free weights, cardio machines, and stack machines for gym goers. There is also an outdoor running course with activities every so often for the runner to engage in additional cardio or strength exercises. Another important feature are the bike lanes on campus. These allow students to more safely ride a bike to class or around campus. Students can even get around easily to these various locations through the use of the Bull Runner or Heartline. Students have free access to both of these transportation options. The major barrier is parking for students. Parking on campus can be very costly, especially if the student pays hourly rather than having a parking permit. Even with a parking permit, the student may not be able to find their respective parking near the location they are trying to reach. This can lead to citations as pictured here. Citations can be given for not having a permit, going over time on the meter, or parking inappropriately. Citations can be costly, but typically are about $15. Over time, these can add up, and if the individual gets numerous citations, this may be very costly. The fifth and final level of the socio-ecological model is policy. The core of this level is to promote increased physical activity through policy implementation and regulation. This can be done through legislation on the federal, state, and local levels. An example of a regulation is what type of budget that each state or community is allotted. Available funds can impact whether or not we can even build and maintain these local parks, bike paths, or even gyms that were discussed. Policy can be broken down to regulations in specific organizations such as schools or workplaces. Does the school require enough time in a physical education class, or does the workplace offer a recreation facility or gym membership? These are just a few of many that can take action on the policy level and have an impact on physical activity. USF has numerous public policies in place, including being a tobacco-free campus as of January 4th, 2016. This creates a healthier environment for students to run outside in. The campus also has blue lights, which encourage safety at night, and shareable bikes, which allow students to freely ride around campus on bicycles instead of bringing their own. The university limits credit hours. This inhibits a lot of students from taking physical education classes, as it would be an additional cost for their degree. As a group, we learned that different students meet the current federal guidelines for aerobic physical activity in various ways, each unique and personal to the way that student works best. We also learned that the levels of the socio-ecological models all play important roles in the individual's ability to achieve their exercise goals. While the first three levels are controlled by the individual to some extent, levels like public policy are out of their control and hard to change. There were no disagreements between what should constitute as facilitators or barriers, as we all worked well together and agreed on where all the pictures should go. A benefit from the results of the project for someone planning to improve the current federal guidelines for aerobic physical exercise is that they can be more motivated and aware about barriers and facilitators in their community, which can positively influence their decision to exercise. Another benefit could be that someone with the ability to make changes to the school and its policy can see the barriers and work to change them in a way that they become facilitators. Photovoice is an interesting technique as everyone has a different perspective to things in life, which is a disadvantage when it comes to putting together photos and interpreting them, as not everyone will agree with each other. However, there are also advantages. This type of presentation relies solely on pictures with a background in narration, which can have a greater impact on the audience. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words.